Hey, this is Kevin, and this is I'm Not Childish. Um, for my first video, I'm going to talk about, it's entitled, I should say, Milo's Mouth. If you don't know about Milo, just type Milo, and I'm sure there's videos that'll come up, and you can learn about him and his ways. The very first time that I heard him, I knew he was no good. He's an instigator, really, and he's found a way. He's found a niche in the political world that he can exploit and and get people riled up. He's found that he can get really strong supporters, or he can get really strong non-supporters, and he likes that. He takes advantage of people by doing this, and he creates a adversarial situation between groups of people. For the most part, he has the left and the right going against each other. And I must say, though, he has the extreme right and extreme left. Him being on the extreme right, which I'm going to share something with you that I didn't realize the first time I watched him. He's gay, and stereotypically gays are on the left, and also are usually understanding type people that have a goal of getting along with everybody. Now, I'm not sure what bend that helps, how that bend helps him in his quest, but he uses it. There's no doubt about it. A good example of him making money and receiving praise or prestige, I guess I should say, is this riot that happened just several weeks ago. He was supposed to speak at a college, and he had actually been invited by a conservative group of Republicans, I guess, and the Democratic parties there, the strong left, decided that there ain't no way he's coming there, and they started a riot. I mean, they destroyed property. They just made sure there was no way that it was safe for him to be there. And the interesting thing is even though he didn't say it in a lot of words, he liked it. Why? Because it gave him news time. And he could say, and people asked him, well, one of the news people asked him, did you come to the United States because of our openness towards, ideas and all? And of course he says, yes, I came here, thinking this is the best place to express my feelings on things, but I was very shocked. I was appalled by all of this, and I thought to myself, no, that's what you were trying to make happen. This is what you wanted. And this way you get even more notoriety. And he eats that up. If you watch his interviews, things like that, he has no desire in hearing the other person's thoughts on subjects. He's right a lot of times, but he sends his message in such a way that he pisses the person off. And then, of course, he pisses everybody else off who's listening, or he makes people feel more powerful that think like him. And so they feel more justified in going out and being bigger assholes than they already are, by calling people names, by, delegitimizing the other side. They're basically saying that, liberals are of no value. Nothing they say, nothing they do is of any importance. They'd all be better dead, which of course is not true. They have as much right to be here as the conservatives. So here's the thing. He has incited these types of confrontations, and then what does he do? He sits back and says, I'm not the one who encouraged him to do this. No. I'm just speaking my mind. I didn't, ask to be invited here. They invited me. But he said things that made them want him to be there. And they may have wanted him there just to piss off their opponents, which is just like our government, which, dare I say, is very childish. Now, he's made a lot of money off of this, and I said that he's an instigator. My cousin was a really good instigator, and he worked very similar, only in a much less dangerous way. He was very harmless, should I say. One time I had my girls up at his house, my daughters, and he had 2 pair of boxing gloves. And he says, let's get them to... He started talking to them, saying, hey, you want to box a little, And they said, yeah. And I said, no, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Well, he did too. But of course, they won and they got the gloves on. And I warned them that they were going to end up punching each other out. And that's just what happened. One of them swung a little too hard at the other one and hurt the other one. And so then that one swung harder. And before you know it, they were punching each other as hard as they could and crying. And Gary's sitting back there laughing. He says, hey, that was their fault, And I said, you knew exactly what was going to happen. Of course, I was laughing too. That's the same thing as adults. Adults are just that childish. They'll do the same damn thing. They'll start out just playing, and then it turns into a confrontation, and then it turns into even a bloody war. And we all sit back and go, how did this all happen? I can't believe that we are not more intelligent to this type of manipulation. I don't know why we allow people to think for us. If you claim to be a Democrat or a Republican, in my mind, you demonstrate that you're not thinking for yourself. But, you gotta start, I guess, somewhere. But you need to be able to look at the other side. There's nothing wrong with, in the past anyway, being a Democrat or Republican, because each side represented a part of this country that needed to be addressed. And so somebody had to carry the torch for each of the things that they stand for. It's just gotten too far out of hand at this point, where both sides think that they're right and the other side is completely wrong. Luckily, with Milo's case, though, he stuck his own foot in his mouth. He blew his own brains out. And I say good riddance. If you didn't know, he made a comment that basically said that if an older man and a boy of 13 or older consented to have sex, that was okay. Don't believe me, just check it out for yourself. And I'm glad it happened. It looks like he pretty much did himself in. He's not going to have the financial income like he had before, and he's not going to get the thrill of believing that he is also powerful. And, his higher power, maybe God, who knows, put him in his place. And luckily, we didn't have to learn really the hard way. He could be one that could be considered the next Hitler, with the ability he had to excite a crowd and get them whipped up into a frenzy. Well, as I said, my site's called I'm Not Childish. My next video is going to be about that, more where that name came from and all, and I hope to explain it and maybe it'll make more sense to you. But to finish the statement, I'm not childish. I'm at a higher level of immaturity. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please let me know. I'm looking at a lot of different subjects, so see you next time.